Semester goes through the journey of a college student who's been sexually harassed by the school's star football player. After speaking up about what happened to her, she receives backlash from her peers across campus who don't believe her. Theater UCF student Aubrey Ann Williams, who is playing the lead role of Karen Henshaw, says the process of becoming this character has been a helpful learning experience.
I know going through this process has made me learn so much more about how common it is and how important it is that we are telling this story on our campus and how important this story is to other campuses.
Williams says this play can bring awareness to the university about sexual harassment. The production of the play has a system called checking in and checking out, which helps the cast and crew get into their roles and leave them in the theater when their day is finished. Theater UCF graduate student Corey Kennedy says the entire cast and crew will have a talkback about the play's dialogue.
Professor Julia O'Connor, who is from the School of Social Work, is going to come and talk about the play and kind of unpack what the text is dealing with.
With Theater UCF doing their part in providing awareness for sexual misconduct, UCF's Office of Institutional Equity is working every day toward making our campus a safer place. UCF's Title IX team helps the university understand how to seek help when dealing with sexual misconduct. UCF's Title IX coordinator Dr. Matt Rickey says there are multiple ways to report a claim of sexual harassment.
An individual that's been impacted by sexual and interpersonal violence and sexual harassment can always seek resources and support and remedial measures through the university.
UCF requires first-year students to complete the Let's Be Clear course about how to handle sexual misconduct. In Orlando, Samuel Sullivan, UCF Knightly News.
For more information about UCF's work with Title IX and sexual misconduct, visit letsbeclear.ucf.edu.
Are you registered to vote? With less than 2 months before midterm elections, I sat down with a political expert to see how you can make a difference.
Take equal and equally participate.
U.S. Census data shows that 1 in 4 eligible Americans are not registered to vote. While UCF data says 75% of its students are registered to vote, the numbers can still rise. Abigail Jones, a junior at UCF, says that herself and her peers need to vote with their knowledge.
Again, with like social media and everything, we're aware of what's going on, so we kind of would have sway in certain things, so it's important for college students to go and vote.
With the 2022 midterm elections coming up, Florida has a governor and Senate spot up for grabs. UCF students can visit the UCF Library website to register to vote to make their voices heard. Dr. Terry Fine is a professor at the School of Politics at UCF and worked for polling offices for 20 years. She says that this midterm election can turn the tide for UCF students.
There are so many things that are on the table right now that could change the trajectory of college students' lives.
Statistics from the Florida Elections Office shows that less people vote in midterm elections than presidential elections. Jaslyn Mathis, a junior at UCF, says that it can be a lot of information to take in before she votes.
Well, elections make me nervous. It's a lot of information to take in what I always feel like is a short amount of time. But I guess what they can do is just to get informed as best as possible.
UCF students at the polls can make a difference for Florida and this country come November. In Orlando, Kyle DeWitt, UCF Nightly News.
For more information on candidates in this year's midterm election, visit elections.myflorida.com.
Millions watched Queen Elizabeth's funeral across the nation on Monday. Since her passing, people around the world are expressing their opinions about the late Queen. UCF Nightly News reporter Carrie Searcy tells us more about the controversy surrounding her legacy.
We recall her lifelong sense of duty and dedication to her people.
An average of 11.4 million Americans tuned in to watch the Queen's funeral, along with 26 million viewers in the UK. Peter Larson, the chair of the Department of History at UCF, shares why this is a turning point.
She marks the end of an era. I mean, she's the last head of state to have served in World War II. She saw the Cold War, the end of the Soviet Union. She saw a lot. So in many ways, she's going to be symbolic of the latter half of the 20th century.
While the Queen didn't have any political influence, Larson says she benefited from colonization. The British Empire was built on colonization, and it's a topic the Queen never addressed before she died. Here in Central Florida, there are differing opinions about how the Queen ruled and lived her life in England. The owner of the British shop in Longwood, John Hanson, expressed his reaction to the Queen's death.
It was a sad, somber moment. It was, I've known it's just a constant that she's always been there. Just like a grandmother, grandparents.
For some students, the monarchy's past of colonization is still a difficult subject.
Well, I don't know her personally, but from what I do know, it seems kind of racist, the system that they have over there.
Professor Larson says social media is the reason we've seen so much discourse about her death. And for the public, her death is a reason to talk about controversial topics.
Artifacts being taken, taken to the British Museum, the royal diamonds. This is an opportunity because everyone's looking at them, a chance to talk about those.
In Orlando, Carrie Searcy, UCF Nightly News.
The Queen's eldest son, Prince Charles, will now be known as King. His coronation is expected to take place early next year.
After the break, Emily McMinn will be here with a look into two students' personal experiences with Hurricane Maria.
Plus, find out how you can adopt a furry friend near you. With Hurricane Fiona still passing through the Caribbean islands, UCF reflects on Hurricane Maria and its 5-year anniversary. UCF students Ian Garcia and Victoria Hernandez Cruz were both living in Puerto Rico when Hurricane Maria hit in 2017. Nightly News reporter Emily McMinn is here how these students were affected by the storm.
UCF student Ian Garcia says the day Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico was a very stressful one.
It was a long day from literally morning 4 a.m. all the way until the evening the next day. And it was a lot of wind, water coming into the house, and it was just a lot of stress, a lot of chaos.
Hurricane Maria is the reason senior Victoria Hernandez Cruz moved to the United States from Puerto Rico.
So it was a hard experience. My family did not have any water or electricity service back home. And because of that, I moved to Florida to continue my education.
Although Cruz says moving to the U.S. was not an initial plan, she found opportunities along the way.
Once I graduated from high school here at Orlando, specifically at Colonial High School, I started at Valencia College with a
Garcia has family who still live in Puerto Rico and have luckily seen less of an impact from Hurricane Fiona. Repercussions from Hurricane Fiona continue to be felt in Puerto Rico as the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Maria is commemorated. In Orlando, Kyle DeWitt, UCF Nightly News. Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico as a Category 4 storm. Hurricane Fiona, however, was only a Category 1 hurricane. To donate Hurricane Fiona relief, contact the American Red Cross using the QR code on screen. This week is Seminole County Animal Services Adopt a Less Adoptable Pet Week. Nightly News reporter Allegra Montesano tells us what the shelter is doing to put overlooked animals into homes and the stigma that older and special needs animals face.
With its shelter nearly at full capacity, Seminole County Animal Services is striving to find homes for all of the animals there, especially those who are often overlooked. Senior and special needs animals have an adoption fee of only $10 until Saturday. Adoption coordinator Bree Burkett says the goal of Adopt a Less Adoptable Pet Week is to give those animals a chance at finding a forever home.
We have plenty of animals that are less adoptable, whether it be the age, breed, or just we have a deaf dog, so it's a little harder for some of those animals to get out.
The ASPCA says senior dogs have a 25% adoption rate compared to the 60% adoption rate of younger dogs and puppies. The organization also says that senior cats have an adoption rate of 60% compared to the 82% adoption rate of younger cats and kittens.
This guy right here is named Branson. He's 8 years old, and he's one of the adoptable pets for this week's Adopt a Less Adoptable Pet Week.
Kennel lead Anthony Bloodgood says a lot of people think older or special needs animals are not as healthy as younger ones, and that's not necessarily true.
Also, unfortunately, people think they're going to have less time with them because they're older, but a lot of the dogs we have that are came as a stray with the ages, they're more than just guesstimates based off of what we can gather. So they could actually have a lot more life than what they're guessing.
Leaders at the shelter say they're working hard to find these pets homes so they can live out the rest of their lives with someone they love and who loves them back. In Orlando, Allegra Montesano, UCF Nightly News.
The last day of Adopt a Less Adoptable Pet Week at Seminole County Animal Services is tomorrow. If you're interested in meeting any of those animals, the shelter is located at 232 Esslinger Way in Sanford.
From personal trainers to clean eating, ways to get and stay healthy are all over the place. Nightly News reporter Desiree Grant shares why students should avoid cheat days when it comes to their sexual health.
Reports roughly 26 million new STD infections a year, half of which are among 15 to 24-year-olds. UCF student Ria Maria shares how educated her peers were on sexual health coming into college.
Kind of interesting because I talked to a lot of my friends and not a lot of them knew much about sexual health entering into college.
A study in the National Library of Medicine shows that while 75% of students know how STDs are contracted, less than half know what symptoms STDs can carry. UCF Sexual Wellness Coordinator Christine Pugh shares her advice to students.
If you are sexually active, recommend that you get tested after each sexual partner. Also utilize the resources here on campus.
While the CDC says abstaining from sex is the only 100% effective way to prevent unintended sexual outcomes, studies by the Journal of Adolescent Health show that form of sex ed fails to actually prevent young people from having sex.
The consistent and correct use of latex condoms and dental dams during vaginal, anal, and oral sex are the CDC's second best recommendation for reducing the risk of infection and unintended pregnancies.
While healthcare is rarely a cheap discussion, Pew shares a few off-campus resources that offer free STD screening.
We do have a sheet in our office, but I can name a few that we have to that we usually send students to. The Center, which is located downtown, Miracle of Love, Hope and Help, and Blitz.
UCF's Recreation and Wellness Center also offers free condoms and HIV testing Monday through Friday. In Orlando, Desiree Grant, UCF Nightly News.
Students looking to make an appointment for free HIV testing and counseling at RWC can call 407-823-5841. Appointments can be made for anyone in the Orlando community.
When we come back, we'll check in with Emily McMinn for a full weather update.
Plus, learn more about how you can study abroad through UCF.
With the official start of the autumn season, students around campus are finding ways to celebrate. The Honors Congress hosted a Fall Equinox Festival last night. The event allowed people to mingle while enjoying the festivities of the new season. Activities included an arts and crafts station where students could use supplies to create fall favorites. There were food and drinks available to those attending. A raffle also took place, and anyone could buy tickets to win a huge prize box from Buff City Soap. You can keep up to date on all events hosted by Honors Congress on Knights Connect.
UCF Abroad hosted its annual Study Abroad Fair at Memory Mall on Thursday. Students got to meet with experienced leaders and staff that are partnered with the Abroad program to learn about studying in a new country. Majors like communications, hospitality, political science, and many others were represented at the fair. UCF Study Abroad coordinator Adrian Thune tells us about the different kinds of programs that are offered through Study Abroad.
T-shirt and then a flag. This is the front of the t-shirt, this is the back. Yeah. Okay.
Programs are short-term faculty programs and long-term exchange programs, as well as internships. They're all very nuanced in regards to the destination that students can go to, what actually students will be doing on these programs. So again, check out our website to learn more.
A Study Abroad.
On October 5th, Knights can attend a Study Abroad 101 info session at the UCF Global Building. HelloFresh subscribers have been alerted that a recall has been issued by the USDA, affecting some of their users. Health officials say that the 10-ounce plastic vacuum-packed ground beef in some meal kits is linked to E. coli in about 6 states. The kits were shipped to consumers from July 2nd to July 21st, and anyone who still has the meal kits is being advised to throw them away. UCF Health Science preclinical student Angeline Belnavis shares her thoughts on the recall.
I'm a student, I'm always busy, so having that meals already planned out is really useful. I would say I would wait until the recall is a little over, probably give them a couple months depending how long that they want to wait, and then I would order from them once they give me the clear.
About 6 people have been hospitalized as a result. For more information, the USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service website will keep you up to date with any future findings. Hey Emily, rain's been an issue with these first 2 football games of the season. Will we have clear skies tomorrow?
It's looking like things should be pretty clear, Riley. But as for the highs for around the rest of the state, Tallahassee and Jacksonville will both still be in those 80s, with Tallahassee having a high of 88 and Jacksonville with 83. However, the rest of the state will be in the 90s, with Tampa having a high of 93, Orlando 90, and Miami also with 90. As for our lows for the upcoming days, Tallahassee, Jacksonville will both be in those low 70s, with Tallahassee having a low of 72 and Jacksonville 71. We'll go up just a little bit to 75 in Tampa and up to 77 in Miami. Orlando will have a low of 74 degrees. Coming up for our rain percentages, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Miami will all have a 0% chance of rain. However, here in Orlando, we'll see about a 30% chance of rain, and Tampa up just a little bit to 40%. For the next 5 days in our upcoming forecast there, Saturday, we do have about a 10% chance of rain, so just a tiny possibility for that football game, Riley. The high will be 87 and the low will be 73. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday should be fairly clear, with only a 24% chance of rain Sunday, 35% Monday, and up just a little bit to 86 on Tuesday. The high Sunday will be 89, high Monday will be 90, and the high Tuesday will be 83 degrees. We'll be sitting in the low 70s for those lows Sunday with a low of 72, up just a little bit to 73 on Tuesday, and 73 on Monday, and up again to 73 on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll see some of those thunderstorms come in, however, with a high of 80, a low of 71, and an 85% chance of rain. That's all the time we have for weather today. Riley and Kyle, back to you.
Coming up in sports, see how a shortage of fields is affecting certain sport clubs. And then get a glimpse into UCF football and their home match against Georgia Tech tomorrow in the team's pursuit of their 3rd win of the season.
That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our website, nightlynews.ucf.edu.
And if you've got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynews@ucf.edu. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day. And as always, go Knights, charge on.